This is Miracle Healings, and I am Leslie Williams. And today's story, it's incredibly inspiring because I have with me the beautiful and the survival Fatema Siddiki. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Leslie. Thank you for having me here.
Yes, your story, it's incredible. I was, every line that I was reading from your email, I was getting more and more and more impressed about
Thank you.
everything that you went through in such young age. And I think this is and it's going to be inspiration for teenagers as well, because your story started when you were 14, right?
16. I was
16.
diagnosed when I was 16. Yeah.
Mhm. So can you let us all
Oh,
know?
yes. I,
Tell
w-
me a
I,
bit
I
of-
would love to tell everyone my story. So, well, I wouldn't say, I would like actually start like I'm a visual communicator. So I'm an artist and I'm a painter and I'm an author and I have started like couple of businesses of my own. And on a side note, I have like couple of autoimmune conditions. I have lupus and scleroderma, and I was diagnosed when I was 16 years old. And I would say like it has been a roller coaster ride filled with different experiences, different emotions, love, hatred, pain, trauma, change, lots and lots of change, depression, loneliness. Like it has been really like too much ups and downs. And I feel like going through what I have gone through has made me the person I am today. So I
Absolutely.
feel now, like 14 years later, I can proudly say, like, it's a blessing in disguise for me. And I wouldn't change it for the world. I would not give those days back and like do something else. But
Yeah.
it has made me the person I am today. So if I start when I was diagnosed, I went into like a hole of loneliness and depression. And I come from South Asian society. So here, if a girl is sick, it's like it's a bad shortcoming, and people will tell you, like the society will tell you to just like suffer in silence and not talk about it. So coming from a society like like that society, I had like many difficulties, but I would say my mom was my mom is the strongest person I can ever know. She told me just to accept myself as who I am, and the world will adjust. She
Uh-huh.
told me just to go after my dreams, just to follow what I want to do in life. And though I was like very sick and I was like hospitalized like half of these 14 years, but she never gave up on me.
Mm. And
Energy in me. Leslie, were you asking a question? Your voice got cut off.
yeah, you cut off.
Oh, yeah.
So how are do you did you have any symptoms? If you can let us know a little bit more of the details when you found out, because we might have, listeners of the show that
Yeah.
are going through a similar situation and not having an idea what's
Mhm.
going on.
So in scleroderma, it's like hardening of the skin. Your skin gets really tight. So in those days, my skin got like really shiny. It was like I had highlighter all over my body. And me and my friends were used to, because we never knew a certain condition exists. So me and my friends were used to like they used to like make fun of me. They were like, you know what? You will never get wrinkles when you're old. You would never need like an anti-aging cream. And we used to like laugh on it. And then one day I came back from school. I was just like very tired. I was extremely exhausted. And then my skin, it just started to turn like really red. So my mom, she took me to a dermatologist and he gave me like a steroid injection just to like overcome the redness. And later on, so it was back in 2007. So he had some like, I would say like a conscious, like something is going wrong with her, like an autoimmune condition. Because Leslie, I would say like people all over the world, it gets really hard to diagnose when it comes to lupus and scleroderma. And
Right.
it takes years and years and years to diagnose. But I think I got lucky to find the dermatologist who was really smart. And the back of the mind, he was like, you know what, let's run a couple of more tests. So he did that, and then these conditions like they came positive, and we never heard of it. We were like, okay, what is this? It's like it's
So just
genetics or
by you having the redness in your skin,
yes,
he so that's important too, because you just
yeah,
got some information that it's a hard diagnosis in your
yeah, exactly.
brain.
And I feel like my skin was so hard at the time that he noticed that when like it's just like touching by it, and he was like, we're gonna run like couple of more tests, and we did that, and then those like it came positive. But like when I was diagnosed, it was like too much of changes. Body was like it was like I was say like severe trauma. But I feel like you are like you're not used to it. What is happening to you? So I think it hits you more.
Right. Wow. So after you were diagnosed, and you but you said that you were very tired. So
Very tired.
autoimmune disease had a lot of fatigue, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how was that for a teenager to what happened after that? You got sick?
So I was about to join like medical school. Like
Wow.
I wanted to become a doctor, but subconsciously I never did. I never did. But it's just like like in our society, like being a Pakistani, like mom and dad, like they want your daughters or sons to be like a doctor or an engineer or something in like business, but
Right.
not like you cannot follow art. Like in our society, like if you are I would say like if you are a dumb student, then you're like actually following art. And that was my literal passion, just to write and just to paint. So
So you
like
have all the pressure on top of being sick. You have the pressure
of
from the
becoming
beliefs of the
yeah,
society and the culture that you were born with.
yes,
Uh,
exactly.
that you had to be either doctor, engineer, or lawyer,
Yeah.
or right.
Exactly. Lawyer, yeah. All of the Asian families, right? Like you need to do
Mhm.
something which is gonna have a status and then actually provide you with like a stability and all. And I was like, that was not my case. So, but I did try for the school. I got into medical school, but I was like seriously super tired every time. Like all day, I was like not attending classes. I was flunking, and I was not even feeling guilty about it. And then one day,
Right.
I just like I dropped out. I dropped out. I was like, I'm not gonna continue this. And then
So in
eventually
that,
was
so you
yes,
would you consider that in that matter your disease helped you?
exactly. I would do it because like I think at that time I didn't know it would help me, but now as come to remember, it's like my friend, like it was like a blessing in disguise that which literally helped me to change my careers, like health wise and even like I would say happiness wise. Because even like I would say like if in a parallel universe, if I was a doctor and I was not sick, I would have been like not happy and not content with my life. And I would have been feeling like empty inside and just like finding something to make me happy. And then I would never have found it.
Yeah.
And now, despite of everything, is like I'm doing what I love. Like I'm teaching people. I have written a book. So I am happy. Like I am content with my life. I feel like my life has a meaning to it now.
Right. So it in certain way was a blessing to you.
Yes. Yes,
And,
definitely.
and
100%.
what are the things that you consider that it was a blessing?
So I would say like it made me more grounded by
Mm.
having this condition because I would say like when I was like a teenager, I was like a super brat teenager, right? Spoilers alert. I was like in my own zone, and like how teenagers are, like top of
Right.
the world, and like their right is like the highway and everything. And I was like, I was one of those people, literally. But then when I got this condition, and then slowly and gradually, I become more grounded, I became more humble, I became more patient towards it because, because when chronic pain starts, you have to be patient about it. It doesn't go away after taking any painkiller, it
Yeah.
takes its time. So I would say now I'm like very patient, like even like 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 how you're going to a restaurant and you are like waiting there for an hour or so just to be seated. So
Mm-hmm.
when I go with my friend, I'm the most patient one. Everyone is like, you know what, like when will we get a table and all? And I'm the most because I'm used to it now. I'm like, you know what, like just be patient about it. You will be seated. Just like it will come in your own time. So my
Right.
ideology has changed a lot. Like I'm severely optimistic now.
Mm-hmm. So the
Super optimistic.
patients, do you think the patients came from the fact that you had no choice but accept your
Yes.
conditions and deal with it? And
I totally agree. It's like for me, so when I was like, so like during my initial years when I was diagnosed, so I was like, instead of like being a 16-year-old and instead of like fantasizing your crush, I used to just pray. I used to pray that I do not end up in the ER again. Because I used to be in the ER like thrice and four times a week because of the pain and the symptoms I used to have. And then I used to like, I had constant belief that I will get better. And in these 14 years, I had like three death near experiences, but I always bounce back. So whatever happens, like the worst has happened to me, and I always bounce back. So I was just thinking about it. I was like, there should be a bigger meaning behind it
yes.
because why am I bouncing back? Like I'm like it's supposed to end, right? Like three times, it's supposed to end now. But like the like last happened in 2019 July. Like I was severely sick in Los Angeles, and but still I have managed to overcome that. So after 2019, I just sat with myself and I was like, you know what? It's a bigger meaning behind it. It's to inspire people. Is to educate the ones who do not know about this disease. Is to raise your own voice. I feel like this condition has made me more confident within my own skin because I used to be the most shyest girl everywhere, the
Right.
most quiet one, the most
Right.
reserved one. But now I'm like I can speak up. I can speak for other people as well. So after that, I joined foundations within the US.
Uh-huh.
So I am working like religiously with them. I am a support group leader as well. I run my own groups and I have like communities of my age, like same age group of people. So I'm the leader, and we meet like twice a week virtually because of COVID. And we talk, we just like share our experiences with one another. And just like it's good to see like there are other people within the
Right.
community who are
Yes.
experiencing what you are experiencing. So
Yeah.
it's actually like it's and then it's just like just to give hope to one another. Like this is not your
Exactly.
worst day, and like the sun will shine tomorrow and you will be all fine. And it's just and Leslie, I feel like it's all about it all comes down to never giving up.
Mm-hmm.
It all comes you to like just take it in, be patient about it, cry, be angry, just like curse a lot, do anything you want to, but eventually it will pass and good days will come. Good days do come. I utterly believe in that.
So you always had this inner voice that would tell you not to give up. How was
Yes.
that process inside of you?
Uh, Firstly, I would like to say like never giving up comes from the beautiful support system I have. My mom, my dad, my brother, and my grandmother. She passed like 3 years ago. These are the people who immensely supported me in whatever I wanted to do. They made my life comfortable in any way I want to, right? Like from my medicines to my take caring to my traveling, everything is just like they like take super care of me. And then they gave me the space to grow as well. So like
Right.
when I left medical school and then I decided to like just pursue in my arts and all. So that time I was back in Pakistan. And then one day my brother is like, just move to the US. He's like, just go and live your life. And at that time my health started to seem to get better. And I was like, you know what, this is the best option to do. And then I started looking at schools just by like searching on the laptop, and my dad thought that I would just go to a community college. And but I was like, no, I'm just going to go and I'm gonna go big. So I just started applying to Ivy League schools. And I got into Yale and I was like, okay, is this really happening? And then I went to Yale, and then I was like, okay, I'm not gonna come back because I felt like being in the US, the people are more accepting, they are more open to it. They do not question you how you are living your life. But back when you come to the subcontinent countries and all, people like to poke their business into yours. They like to question you a lot. So I felt like just moving was actually really good for me. It did help me to voice my opinions, to raise my voice. Now, like when I'm like even back in Pakistan, if someone asks me like, okay, fine, something is wrong with you, and I'm like, yeah, I have lupus or scleroderma. It's like I'm just like totally okay with it. And by moving to the US actually helped me like really accepting that okay, fine, it is a condition you have, and you don't need to be sorry about it. Just like that, accept who you are. Like my mom used to say, like when I was firstly diagnosed. But apparently, like living in a society where people mock you and people judge you on how you look, because at one point my skin was all black because I was losing a lot of blood in my body. So things were changing, like even how I was looking. Like I had like really long hair, and then my hair was like cut down to here. So people were questioning, okay, what is wrong with you? What happened to you, right? And as a teenager, as a rebellious teenager, I used to just be super angry at life. Like, why me? Like, what did I do to deserve all of this? Like, why am I sick? So that led me to like a year-long depression. I was just like super sad, super angry the entire time. And now I would say, like, I would say
And
again,
what was the breakthrough? So you went through, because this is very common in a lot of stories, right?
yeah,
People going through this avalanche of emotions due to the disease or the issue or the trauma
yeah,
they're living. And because it is a cause, you're going through so much, and then suddenly something clicks. So
hmm.
what was did you had a breakthrough? What
I
happened?
I think I did have a big breakthrough in 2016. I
Mhm.
would say in my back of my mind, I was like, at that time, I contacted the foundation in the US, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna like start working with them and all. But then I got busy with life because I was healthy, and I forgot that I had a condition. I was like busy studying and busy working, and then I was just like in a normal routine, you would say, right? And then I was in early 2019, life hit me with a brick, like a like it just came on my face like that. And I got sick again and really bad. Like it lasted for like 6 months. Like my flare-ups were really bad. I was like in and out of the hospital and all. And then it really hit me. I was like, okay, I forgot my purpose, what I was supposed to do. I
Mhm.
got so busy in life. I got so busy in the 9 to 5 routine and the hustling and just going and just being a creative designer. And I was like, what happened to other part of my life? Like, what happened to working with other people? What happened to starting a foundation and working with the foundation and just like raising your own opinions and your voice. And then at that time, I took my Instagram and I had a picture of me with like a hospital bandage on my hand, and I posted that. That was my first time like publicly coming out, because my friends, like, obviously the close circle knew about it, but like the other group of friends, like they were like no one had the idea of it. And if you look like invisible, that's how invisible diseases work. Like you won't see my face, I have something. If you talk about it, that's how it comes. So, and then after that, I just start posting, and like people are like, "Oh my God, you know what? We thought you are going through something, but we never asked you about it. Now we know the reason and all." I just came out. I literally came out, and then it was like no stopping after that. After that, like I was like, I'm just gonna. This is my mission. I'm gonna start working with everyone and all. And then COVID happened, and that made me more, because as being immunocompromised, I cannot go out as I used to. So I'm just like bound at home and just like working from home, which was really affecting my mental health. And then more positive attitude came, more meditations and yoga and like
Oh, so it started to do meditations.
yeah, it really started in, I used to being in LA, like everyone is soulful. So me and my friend, we used to go to like meditation like every Sunday. But it was never like it was never like everyday thing. It was just like, okay, we're just gonna go have fun and then go to a beach and come back, right? Have some avocados and matcha, like typical LA outing. But I would say like due to COVID, um, I really started like looking after my mental health. I was like, if my mental health is like A1, my body, my lupus, my scleroderma, it won't flare up because that's how it works. Because if your body is not stressed out, you are happy, you are all good, you're all healthy and all. Even though like you have the disease because it will not go away. So I started like really taking care of my mental health, like doing all of this stuff, journaling a lot, just like writing my
Oh,
goals and
that's
all.
wonderful.
And I made it a habit. I was like, I'm just gonna do it every day. So like every day is like my meditation routine, my journaling routine before bed and all, just to have a like clear mind and clear set of goals. So with that really helped me focus on the bigger part of my life. So that helped me like I have finished my book. I am working like with my foundations. I have opened another chapter for the South Asian community. So because I feel like there are so many other women who are dealing with what I have dealt with being in the South Asia. So I have made another group which like I'm just targeting all of the women who are in Pakistan and India and who are going through invisible diseases. Just to lend them a support, lend them an ear, like how they're coping up with it and this and letting them know like you don't have to worry about what they think. It's just like own it to yourself and just be yourself with who you are. But
Yeah.
I was like, everyone has their own story. Everyone is amazing.
Yeah. So it's very interesting that you took a huge risk because moving to a country that is not yours, right?
Yes,
It takes courage, and you took a risk because you had your condition and you came by yourself to
yes,
LA, right? Your disease brought you back to your center, to your purpose
yes, yes, it
again.
did. Oh my God. Yeah, it did. It did. I feel like life is a full like so like I went to UCLA. I studied like design, communication, arts, and marketing. And when I graduated, I was like, I'm just going to be like a creative designer and work for like a startup or like another like companies. When it's like the disease hit me again, and when I literally sat and thought about it, I was like, you know what, I should be doing like creative designing and everything, but on the side, and the main focus should be another thing. And then this was it, like working with the people, working for the people, raising the voice, educating the entire world. Okay, fine, this is it, and stop being weird about it. Just like give them a call, like stop being weird about it. This is what it is. And then what led me, I started teaching people. So I'm a painter as well, like I have done 3 exhibitions till now. And so what I did, I was like, you know what, I'm going to teach people how to paint, but then I'm going to bring the healing element into it. I'm going to teach people how to bring the emotions into a painting, which is what abstract art is. You need the composition. And thankfully, due to COVID, like I was like, everyone is going through something, whether it's like financial or health wise, everyone is just like distressed in the moment. I was like, let's just like help people, just like inspire people to so that they can feel better. So now I'm teaching people how to paint and how to bring the emotions into it. So I'm doing that as well.
That's beautiful. So can you tell us a little bit about your near-death experience?
Yes. So first it was back in God. I have a habit of blacking out the memories of the bad days. So it's like I have to go back. So it was 2009. Yeah, it was 2009. I was like, so my doctors didn't know, but my kidneys were shutting off, and that made my skin turn all like dead black. And I was not able to walk because my feet were like big size, like they were like so much swelled up. So I was like, literally, I was so scared. I was like, if I'm gonna walk, my feet were gonna like burst open. So, but the doctors were not able to figure out like what is happening inside my body because the the blood test, everything was coming like really good. Like it was nothing like that bad, but like my body and every symptom was like really bad because I was like coughing up blood, and it was like a very weird moment of my life. And then one day, I got my so my doctors told me to just like go and get another labs of report done. I did that, and then the hospital is calling me. He's like, you know what, you have to come like really right now, and we need to admit you, and your labs are like really super bad. It was like a span of like 48 hours. It turned like super bad. I got admitted in the hospital. I think they kept me for like a month or so. They gave me like blood infusions and all, and then heavily dose of steroids to like help me with my kidneys and everything. And it was really bad because I started to get like, I would say like alienated stuff. So like ulcers on my fingers, on my sole of my feet. I was not able to walk properly. I used to walk with my toes on because like all of the ulcers were like over here on the on my foot. It was like terrible. And then whenever you're going out, people are making like really weird faces and all. Like what is wrong with you? Why do you look so weird and alien? So it was like a terrible phase of my life. And then I would say, okay, this is bad. But then more bad started to come. After that, I thought this would be over. This is it. But then one day I woke up and I lost my eyesight. I was like, I was not able to see. Like it was all black, and I'm like, okay, what is going on? I went to a doctor. All of my family is like going crazy. It's like I'm just like 17-year-old and I couldn't see. Then the doctors are like your lupus and scleroderma is so bad, like it is affecting everything on your body. I had like that year I had like two emergencies eye surgery just to like get my eyesight back. I was like, I'm blessed to have that doctor in my life. Like he was very, very cautious. He was very like super smart just to like figure it out what is going on. He had dealt with it, and then like things that keep on happening. Like chronic pain was is its highest every day. I used to have like painkiller shots within me. It was like too much pain in the body, and it was just like body was like severely distressed. I feel like my body was getting so much trauma at one time. It was like, what is going on? Like every other part of my body was being affected, like my skin, my kidneys, my liver, my eyes, my brain. I used to like I was having brain fog a lot. I was forgetting things. I was not remembering anything at all. It was just like severely. I was losing my hair. I was losing my weight. So it was like a very distressed time of my life, severely.
Wow, incredible.
So that happened, and so it was like, and then my hand got affected, my right hand, and now I'm like a lefty, total lefty and all. Like I never like I paint, I write. It's like I was like universe has taught me how to use my left hand now, like very
Mhm.
nicely. So yeah, but yeah, nothing is like nothing goes in vain. It's like I have learned everything till now what I have gone through. I'm like, okay, so it's positive. I just like take out the positive stuff out of it. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna take positive stuff. And what I would say, like in those dark times, painting has helped me a lot. So what I used to do, I used to like because I was like, how much are you gonna shout at another person? Because in the end, it's not their fault that I am sick, right? Like you cannot blame others, but I feel like that's how denial and anger and grief works, right? Because at that time, I was grieving the other person who I was before I was diagnosed. The healthy person, the rebellious person, the one who wouldn't care about anyone but herself, right? Like who shouldn't like so that happened, and then I used to be grieving that person day in and day out. I'm like, you know what? I just want to go back. I just want to go back when I was having fun with my friends, when I used to go out and about. But
Yeah.
like having these conditions, you cannot go out in the sun as well because the sun, like
Okay.
it's yeah, it's not good for your skin and all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it flare ups a lot. Like if you're out in the
So
sun,
you
it's gonna flare
you
it up to you.
immerse yourself in painting.
I did. I was like, day in and day out, I
So
was just painting.
do you do you do you think that painting was contribute for your healing?
Yes, definitely. Because I was like, so let's say the thing was, there was no composition, right? I wasn't painting, which was in the 3D. I was painting with my mind and my heart. What I was, the rage I was feeling inside my body, I was literally just painting onto that. And sometimes I used to paint and I used to like tear the painting apart, and I used to feel happy about it. It is like just put the emotion into a box and just like put it in a garbage can and just like lit fire on it, just to like have a good feeling about it. Like you can take control over it. So by doing that, I was thinking, like in my mind, I was like, you know what? I'm taking control of the disease that I have. So I'm
Mm.
not gonna let that win. And now I feel like I still do that, but I do that in a positive, in a soundful manner. I'm not like ripping apart anything, right? Now I'm just like doing everything in the things I do love
Yes, you
and
found
making some,
passion
yes,
while you
and
were going through, and that helped you to
yes,
start to
yes,
overcome, right, and
yes.
heal yourself. Yeah,
And I feel like
and there's, I think there's an aspect in every artist, or
oh
writer,
yeah, oh
of
I agree.
connection when you are in creation and you are connecting and you are in your own world, right? As this beauty of, as you said, love and
Yes,
passion and being in, with the divine, because it is
I
divine,
agree. It
right?
is divine. It is divine.
Wow,
Because
that, yeah, please.
I would say like for me, life is a full circle. Because like when I was like a kid, all I wanted to do was paint and then write. So these were the two things I wanted to do. And then I would say like I'm 29 now, and now I'm doing what I was supposed to do. Like so for me, I would say life is a full circle for me. I had to go through what I've gone through just because I know like this is the purpose of my life now. And I love doing that. I love talking to people. I love like educating everyone. You know what? Now like I passionately tell them, you know what, I have lupus. Like this is what it is. And there was a time when I used to be like ashamed of it because at that time I was not accepting it, and I was say like this is who I am. So it's like I was this is like I'm nothing without my disease. It's,
Right.
it's like, yeah, I'm nothing without my disease. Like, it's my friend or something. It's like yeah,
You learn how to be grateful for all the lessons.
yes.
Yeah. And gratitude opens the doors to
It
receive,
does. It does. It
right?
does. Beautifully, it does. When
Yes.
you start getting the being, when you start being grateful for things you have, it's like universe starts to throw more good stuff at you. Like, you know what? Here you go. Have some more of it. So it's so good.
Yeah. And when you start to, deal with your conditions in a different way, um, how was the emotions, and did you see this shift, and and your emotions? So what do you discover about the new you?
The new me. So the old me. If my mom was here, she would be saying that she was the most stubborn and the most like ruthless and short-tempered child you would have ever met. I was that person. But then going through what I've been through, I would say it has made me again more patient, and I don't get angry anymore, which is a very new thing for me. It's like I just like compose myself and take that self in and just like, you know what? I'm not gonna like reflect on that. I'm just gonna calm myself down, get centered, take some few deep breaths, and then deal with the situation.
Mhm.
Right? It's like, and then because I feel like when you're in anger situation, you will think the worst and you will do the worst, which is not good for you or the thing which is surrounding you at that time. So that has helped me a lot, I would say. So it's like my temper has gone down, like way down, and I just like now I look at like whatever is happening in my life and like other people's life, I tend to see the positive side of it. So it has made me more optimistic. I'm a person who sees the glass half full rather than half empty. I would be appreciative with that. And I sense like since I have started doing that, good things are coming to me.
Right, because you shift your your thinking process, and then you attract m- more good things because your
Yes,
vibration move changed
exactly.
as well, right?
Yeah. Like
So
in
it,
that higher frequency is like all of the good stuff is happening, right?
uh-huh, uh-huh. And
Yeah.
how was faith in all this process? Did you believe in something? Were you praying for something? Did you have faith? How was your
I
relationship with
so,
faith and all
so
that?
I do believe in God. I do believe in God, and I say I have like conversations with my God, and I'm like, there's a higher purpose and the higher meaning of life. And whenever something bad is going into my life, I'm always like thinking, you know what, there's something good behind it. There's a bigger reason why it is happening. And it always tend to be. It literally always tend to be. Like there is some reason behind it which is stopping me to do it, or which is leading me to a greater path of my life. So I would say, yeah, I do have like my, and after like what I've gone through like back in 2019, I would say like my belief and faith has gone more stronger, and
Mm,
it keeps on getting stronger day by like day in day out now.
that's incredible, right? Sometimes we need this elements in our life, this
We
challenge
do.
to
Mm,
help us to open our eyes and and
yeah.
face. It's something that sometimes we take for granted, right?
Oh
Because
yeah.
we allow our lives to control ourselves, and then right, and then in the moment that we are tested, right?
Yeah. And I feel like actually like having like because I like since like I said like I'm an optimistic person, so I see like motivational videos and all, right? So I felt like so first like when I was not too much into the spirit, like I was never that spiritual. Last year I'm like super into spirituality as well. Like I'm super spiritual now, and I do believe in the law of the universe and the attraction and the vibration, the higher frequency of life, right? And so like it was an example like when I used to wake up before, I was like I used to let the day run me despite how I was feeling, right? Just like the moods and the emotion, I used to like run the entire day, and I used to like the emotion used to waste my day on how I was feeling, like anger or sad or like depressed or anything, right? And now even though if I'm like dealing with my desires, like I'm gonna let the day is going to run by me, not by the emotions I'm feeling right now. So that shift has helped me a lot. Just like thinking like that, just like taking the ownership back, like taking the entire ownership of the life and the thinking and the feeling, just like within me. I'm like, okay, it's okay to feel. It's obviously like we are human, so we're gonna feel,
Yes,
right? Yeah, so it's
yeah,
okay to feel. It's okay
it's
to process,
okay.
but it's not okay to dwell on it. But
Mm,
I feel like we miss greater opportunities if we are dwelling on certain emotions which are not even permanent. They are temporary. They will go, and then you will be happy again. Then you're gonna be sad again. It's just like it's
yeah,
gonna fluctuate. It's that's what life is.
yeah. I think you touched on a very important aspect of dealing with the emotions, because it's important not to ignore them, because
Yes.
we need them for our growth. It's important
Ex-
to
yeah.
leave them and be okay, as you said, but not leave all the time, as you said,
Oh yeah.
dwell with them and carry them. And because this is when you don't, this, I think, dwelling with them is, it's not dealing with them, right? It's just
Exactly. It's a
living
difference.
and
It's a
allow
big
them
difference.
to
Yeah, it's a big
control you, but
difference.
it's not dealing, not being okay.
Yeah.
And
Like
it's amazing that you discover all that.
it's going to like a very fun example, but it's like okay when you're sad, when you're like crying over someone, you're like heartbroken or something like that, like, and then we all tend to do this, right? We're gonna put on some sad music and we're gonna keep on dwelling on it, right? It's like a but it's an annoying process. I would say now, like there are a couple of my friends, right? And when they're talking about a boy or something, and then they like keep on getting sad and like sending sad memes and everything, just like. And then I used to do that, but now like shifting the mindset, I'm like, you know what? Like switch to a happy song, switch to like a lively, happy song, dance on it. it's going to shift your mood. And then you're going to think about differently. It's a big, it works like wonderfully if you just like try to recognize that. But like, it's just like trying to recognize and be open to it. That's the main thing.
Mhm. And would you say that your condition helped you to learn to unconditional love yourself
Oh
more?
yes, now yeah, now I'm like now for me it's like I am my topest priority because I feel now, and I think my best friend, she literally helped me on this. She's like, you know what, you need to love yourself as you love the people around you. Because I was the one who used to be like giving all of my love and energy to like to other people all around me, like supporting them, motivating them. And when it used to come my own self, I used to like doubt myself like any other thing. I'm like, you know what? I'm not confident. I'm not bold. I cannot achieve this goal in my life. But since like I was like doing like jumping into spirituality and all, it has showed me, you know what? You are a universe within yourself. So just like start tapping onto your own love, and you will just see things gonna change miraculously for you in a very good way. And it has helped me like the shift. I would say like let's say like since jumping into all of this, my mindset is like it has like everything is working wonderfully now. So it's just like accepting myself as who I am and not doubting myself anymore. Because I feel like why should I be doubting myself when other people are already doing that for me? It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
You- Right? Like people do that, right? People doubt one another. So I was like, why should I be in that circle? I should be the one supporting myself and like motivating myself. Like, you know what? You can literally do this. You don't have to
Yes.
doubt yourself. Like, stop doubting yourself. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah. It's a process that when you were blind in a certain way to shift your awareness inwards. You didn't have choice, right? So
yes,
your conditions and in this aspect help you because we all need to do this at a some certain point of our lives, right? And I think
yeah,
we all went through stuff where we will have to look
yeah.
inwards and say, okay, it's time
Mm.
to
It's
do
time. It's
something about,
time.
right? And
And
it's
I feel like being at home cause of like not going out of pandemic and all. I felt because they were like so there were some days I used to be like really happy, and then there used to be like certain emotions like a rage coming into my body, and it's like I was not understanding what it was. I was just like, and it was happening like every 2 weeks and 1 week and 3 weeks apart. And then I was like, it's late August last year, and I literally looked into it. I was like, okay, what is this happening, and how can I solve everything which is happening? But I was like, I need to control what I can control. I cannot control my surroundings. Like, obviously, I cannot stop the pandemic happening, right? So I was like, what
yes,
I can I do to avoid this feeling? I was because I was done. I was so exhausted from feeling so bad. And then that shift came, and then I started looking into like people who motivate you, who tell you how to change your daily habits, and I started to implement those habits into my life. And so like August, and now it's like end of February, but I'm not going out still, but I feel like so sane now. I'm working, I'm just like finishing my goals, I'm like working on my new goals just by like sitting at one place, but I feel content. I literally feel content. I'm like satisfied with my life now.
yeah, because you are aligned with yourself, with your
Yes,
truth, with who you
exactly.
are. Yes.
Finally, finally. I'm like,
But
finally, thank God.
that's the miracle, right? That's
That
all
is, that
miracle
is a
because
miracle.
we went through all these challenges and obstacles and calls and the roller coasters, but at the end, it's all miracles that are coming to us for us
Exactly.
to blossom because that's what happened to you, right?
And I feel like let's say sometimes we are our own person who is blocking all of the miracles in your life, right? because we are not acting, we're not aligning ourselves in the way we are supposed to be.
Right.
Like, like how, like the blocks and limiting beliefs. So sometimes I feel like I was my own block one time. I was my own block, and then once I was like, you know what? Let's like look into it. Like start tapping. What is wrong? What is happening, which is not making sense right now. Since I started doing that, I was like, okay, you know what? I figured it out. Let's do this now.
Yeah. And it takes courage, right? It takes
It
courage to
does.
decide. It takes courage to deal with ourselves, with our emotions. Denial, it's something that a lot of people are affected, but just because of the fear of facing ourselves. And that's beautiful. Another beautiful miracle that you end up
Thank
having.
you.
It's what would you say that is the life lesson?
Oh, life lesson. No, I have to think about it. I feel like there will be like different life lessons. Like there will be a couple of life lessons that I have learned. I feel like at a young age, like I'm not old, right? I'm not that old right now. So I feel like I have my experiences have turned me into a person that I am, and I can like definitely 100% say that age is just a number. It doesn't matter how old you are. I feel like the experiences will tell you how you should be and how you should understand and perceive life, and perceive, and just like I would say, like be nice and be kind to the people around you, because we don't know what they're going through. We don't know their struggles. Because I would say, like, people tend to say, you know what, your pain is not that big and my pain is bigger than yours, right? They start to like being competitive around one another, even when it comes to pain and trauma. And I'm like, no, that let's not do that. Because universe is giving you the pain and giving the trauma as much as you can handle it, right?
Right.
So why are we gonna compare that? It's like maybe your threshold is bigger, but it's like stop comparing that and stop being like judgmental about how people are living their life. It's their life. It's only one life. Let them live how they want to live. And I was like, just like let how the people are. But I tend to see like people try to change people when they're in love, and I was like, I feel like this is not how a one person grows. If you let the other person blossom into their own environment, it would be beautiful. It would be literally beautiful. So yeah, my life lessons like till now is like just like let the people be, let do not judge them, do not just like assume what they're going through. If you want to know, just ask about them. Because I have gone through this entire life, because when my appearances were changing and all, people used to assume things. No one ever came and asked me, you know what? Okay, I'm just like worried about you. Can you tell me what's going on? Like, if anyone would have come to me like that, I would have literally told them. I would have opened my heart out. But all I heard was just like whispers and judgmental remarks against me. Yeah, and the major remark was like, okay, who's gonna marry her now? Because like, being in the society I am, like it's the biggest thing. Like you have to marry the perfect guy. And I'm like, you know what? Like there should be bigger goals than that, than to just to marry off to someone.
Wow, it's so many. I think two of them call me my attention that when you spoke, it's the acceptance not only for yourself but also the others. Accept
Yes.
how we are and how others are, and compassion. In your words, I can see that you develop compassion for others because you have to develop for yourself as well.
Yes.
That's so beautiful, right? And the part of the judgment also, I think it's when we have more compassion for ourselves, we develop more from others, and then
Yeah.
judgment, it's something that it will end up disappearing because, right, because we can see others with the eyes of love and the source,
Yeah.
right? And another thing I think you brought that is important, you mentioned that if you back in the day had someone that would ask you, oh, do you need anything? In other words, to receive you, to
Yes.
open and have compassion for you. So I think this is a very nice message to leave for for our listeners. That's just open and receive others in our hearts and receive ourselves too. That's beautiful. Wow,
Thank
so many
you.
beautiful life lessons. So after all this, would you say that life is beautiful?
Definitely 110%, I would say. Yeah. And I feel like, Leslie, I would say like what I am building for myself and how I have changed my mindset and my thinking and how I perceive the world and perceive other people around me is just cause of my mother. She like so I would say like my society told me, you know what, just like suffer in silence and all. And my mom was a literal loophole, and she's like, no, she's not gonna do that. She's gonna build her life. She's gonna be the amazing person she is. She's gonna follow her dreams. Like till now, when I'm thinking of doing something, she's the one beside me. She's like, you know what? Let's do this. She's like, don't care if no one supports you. I support you. I support your dreams. So all like what I am right now is all because of her.
The
I literally
power of
I owe my
mother love.
life. I owe my life to her. Like
Mm.
she made me the person I am today. She made me the strong person, like who can endure everything. Because she's like, you know what? You're gonna go through this. You're gonna be all fine. Just like she's like, just keep your patience on. Just keep on surviving this, and you're gonna be like literally all fine. Because she has seen me like in my worst days and like craziest of the pain, like crying and just like yeah, it's been like crazy, right? And she's like, you know what? You're gonna get through it. And eventually I do get through all of this.
The power of love,
The
right?
power of love, yeah. Like she has that hope in me, like that, like you know what, you will go through it. Like when I'm like doing anything, she's like, yes, you will be amazing. Just don't worry about it.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure she probably went through healing as well because
Oh, yeah,
having to have your own daughter in this situation maybe help her to heal herself as well. So the condition that you
yeah, because I feel like obviously, yeah. But I feel like I have gone through so I'm going through this physically and emotionally, but I feel like my mom, my dad, my brother, they're going through it emotionally. It's like it's emotionally nerve wracking to see your loved one going through pain and they cannot even help you. It's like so obviously it gets they must be really tired. So they are happy that I am happy. So it's like their mood swings just like goes up and down just like mine. It's just like all are synchronized now.
yeah, because also we are all connected. So
We're all
and
connected,
with
yeah.
with our loved ones even more, right? And it's as we said before, the power of love. It's able to do so much.
To do
Love
so
for
much,
ourselves,
yeah.
love for our life, love for our loved ones. It's definitely something. It's the biggest support that we have
It's the biggest support.
in
And
this.
then let's say and then like loving and then letting them grow in their own space. Because I feel like if they had been like overprotective about me and like the suffocating love, I would have never achieved what I had achieved till now. So it's like they were like, you know what? Okay, we love you, so go and live your life. Though for the conditions I have and my obviously like being like a chronic having a chronic condition is like you are like happy in the morning and then you can end up in the ER by evening. It's like it goes up and down so fast. So it is a gamble, I would say, in the end. But they were like, you know what, we support you and you are responsible and you know how to like deal with everything is going in your life. So like they let them be me in the end, I feel like.
Wow, Fatima, I could spend the whole day with you. Thank you so
Thank
very
you.
much for sharing your wisdom, for sharing your beauty, for sharing such an inspired story. Thank you so much. And would you like to leave a message to our listeners?
Thank you for listening me talk so much since an hour. And I would just say, like, be kind, be loving, be you, be free. Because, like, life only happens once. So I would just say, like, let it be amazing, make it amazing. You have the power in it to make it, like, really amazing for yourself. And do what you want to do. Just go after your dreams, because I feel like there are many who are just settling into their life. So don't be one of those many people, I would say.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being in the
Thank you,
show.
Leslie.
It was a
Thank
pleasure.
you for having me here.
Yeah,
Thank
it
you.
was my pleasure. Thank you so much. Miracle Healings can be found at www.theselfartist.com. On YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, look for Self Odyssey. And if you or someone that you know have a story that you would like to share, please get in touch with me via Leslie Williams at theselfartist.com. Once again, thank you so much for watching. And don't forget, life